Hi, my name is Simone. I am a psychic, medium, tarot intuitive, and I'm going to be reading for the sign of Virgo now. Virgo birthdays being August and September, mid-August, mid-September. But this reading is for the time of Pisces. It's February, March, so I'm just covering the next 3-4 weeks. But however, whenever you do find me, and this particular reading is the right time for you to be hearing it. So let's see what Spirit wants to offer you. What does Spirit want to say to our lovely Virgos? And the first card that's dropped out is the Six of Wands, the Six of Rods, which says to me that you are perhaps at this point in time feeling a little bit shy, a little bit like you would like recognition. However, that shyness or that introverted side of you that's coming out a little bit more at this present moment is feeling perhaps, how can I say, you'd like to be recognized on the outside, and you are being recognized on the outside for achieving, for being able to lead, to show leadership skills either at work or perhaps it's in a family situation. But presently, you are displaying all those qualities outwardly. Other people recognize them in you, but perhaps you yourself are not at this point recognizing how much you've got to offer, but you really do. And Spirit wants you to know this. The underlying energy, the Knight of Rods or Wands, very much a fiery energy here with the Six of Rods or Wands. So yes, you want to move ahead. You're kind of determined within yourself to succeed. You don't want to feel like you're going to fail on any level, not at this point in time. So you are moving forwards. You're let's say you're quietly exposing your vulnerability, but that's actually your strength, in fact, or one of your strengths. So be that fiery, earthy self that you want to be at the moment, the go-getter, and go out and go after what you want. And Spirit encourages that in you. So I'm going to put the underlying energy here to one side, because I also believe you want to strike a deal, I believe. Now, this could be in love or could be in a work situation, but it looks to me like you do really want to strike a deal and that there is success in what you are achieving. You may also feel your elbow area at the moment. It might be feeling a little bit sensitive, shall we say, or perhaps you've banged it, damaged it, broken it. But it does feel very sensitive at the moment. So just be aware of elbows and what you're doing. Also, here says to me, You are very much trying to trust an emotional situation, but it's proving difficult because of your past experiences. And you have been hurt, you have been let down, you have lost in love. And sometimes it's quite difficult to pick ourselves up from that sort of situation. But it feels to me that's what you're exactly trying to do. There's no sense in crying over spilt milk, which is actually in some ways what this card depicts. It depicts the past. You may be going over memories, you may be reviewing and trying to really come to terms with an emotional situation or situations that have happened to you in the past. There's been suffering here. You're wearing a cloak, all black. You may be wearing black today. It may be a favorite color, or it may be something that you've just recently, very recently, chosen to wear more of. But you are cloaked, you are protecting yourself, and you still have reason to live and love. These two cups here lie in the future if you want to turn around from the past and look at what's ahead of you. There's a lot to be thankful for. So please don't lose hope at this time, my lovely Virgos, because all is not lost. I feel with regards to work here, a situation has proved to be very, very taxing. You may actually be having to pay attention to taxes at this time as well, by the way. But it feels like it's taken a lot out of you, it's drained you, and yet still we have the feeling of success here. So move forwards, don't look backwards. Looking backwards doesn't hold very much right now with regard to the present situation. You should just have learnt from the past so that you don't repeat mistakes. I do feel you've got an ally here, in yourself, in fact. And from your thoughts, from your feelings, you're moving back into your thoughts and taking yourself to this better place. You've got ideas, underlying energy, and you definitely want to make them happen. You may have a connection to the arts or the theatre, films maybe, or TV. And it says to me that there is an opportunity which you can't see yet arriving on your doorstep. It feels quite artistic and it feels realistic as well. It's a slow moving energy. So I feel you've been working on something for quite a long time. You haven't wasted your time. You've actually slowly matured your ideas, matured your emotions, and you're getting there. I feel ears are very important at the moment. I really do. You may have slight issues with hearing. You may have slight issues with listening. Maybe you're not a good listener. Perhaps you're impatient at this present moment. But please, I'm going to ask you to listen more and say less at this point. Here's your energy, in the sense that this is an earth sign energy. The knight moves forwards quietly, ambitiously quiet actually, just needs to get the job done. And I feel this is where you're heading. Even if you don't have self-belief, even if your finances are proving to be overstretched to their limits, there is still reason to have hope here in the future, to be present for the future, to keep that drive going, whatever your emotional state is at the moment. There are things you want to prove to yourself. My feeling as well, actually, is you're, just as this card depicts, you're helping somebody get back on their feet at the same time as you may be struggling a little bit, like I said, with getting yourself back on top. But you are getting there. You're not giving up, and nor are you giving up on someone else. And it feels that you're perhaps being drawn together at this present moment in order to be a buffer for each other, to encourage each other, to help one another. Because when you help one another, you're actually helping yourself, in fact. So yeah, I feel you're going through deep emotions at the moment. Deep emotions, a deep questioning of your abilities. But your abilities are showing up here. So I think you could be being hard on yourself right now. Spirit, what else would you like to point out to our lovely Virgos? Okay, here we go. Oh, another fire card. We have the Two of Wands. So it does speak about some form of partnership with a future to it. And it comes underneath the Five of Cups. We've got the Five of Pentacles. We've got the Six of Rods. So things were making progress. Then the progress seems to have stilted a little bit. And you're reviewing the situation. What can you do? What can't you do? What you should give? What you shouldn't give? Yet another fire sign. So a lot of you, Virgos, for different reasons, may actually at this point in time either be dealing with a fire sign literally, and that will be Sagittarius, that will be Aries, and that will be Leo. Perhaps you've got a significant person in your life, a fire sign, that there we go, sorry, something's popped up on the screen here, I don't know why. There we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, and this person at this point in time, this fire sign, you may be, like I say, wanting to partner up with somebody, either on a work level or on a love level. But there are certain emotions to be worked through, and they have to be worked through within the Two of Swords. So there is careful attention being given to feeling. There's careful attention being given to the intellect and thoughts. There's a decision here to be made, and it's really truly not an easy decision, I might add, because it feels like it also means strong within yourself to have the courage to stand out of the crowd, perhaps some of you are afraid of success. It can be very scary when you're being asked to step up to the plate and think about success, think about running a project and all the people involved, keeping all the balls up in the air. But you are doing that, and yet another fire sign here within the Page of Rods. So I do think there is some news coming in after a period of introspection. To what extent the news is good? Well, it does have a positive, vibrant, let's move forward feeling. Let's get on with the job. Let's get the group together. Let's move. Let's move. And the the Page of Rods comes under the Two of Rods, which comes under 5. So yes, I think that you're at a very vulnerable point, either in a deal, in a financial matter, or in your emotional life. This is a very important moment for you. Are you able, do you want to accept what the other party has to offer? Do you feel that there is enough emotion involved within the situation, be it work or be it love? Is there enough emotion involved to get you going, to move your ass, so to speak? And the feeling, the overall feeling here is yes. Yes, there is enough. There are enough emotions to keep this fired up, keep going. There's also enough enthusiasm as well to take things forwards. If you're involved with a fire sign lady, then I feel this fire sign lady does have very deep feelings for you and looks to me to be quite genuine about feelings. If you're involved with a fire sign man, I have to say the same thing here, that there is a level of sincerity that's being offered to you. It might be very, very scary to open up and feel you can allow somebody else in. You can see how protective this man is over his pentacle, which is guarded closely by his sword, and the pentacle is tight by his side. So you might be feeling like you do want to open up, but in reality it's difficult to let your guard down. And yet it's only by letting your guard down and turning from the past to the future that you're going to pick up that second cup of love. In other words, become a couple or become some sort of partnership. Canada seems very relevant here. Some of you may have connections to Canada. My feeling is probably relatives in Canada, and my mind wants to travel out to the wilds of Canada at the moment, especially Toronto area, because I feel I've got a relative in that direction who could be poorly right now, and you could have memories of the past around that person and wondering what you should do. Should there be a repair in the relationship? Should you leave it alone? These are all thoughts I feel you're working through to try and come to some sort of decisive action. But generally, I feel you're actually getting there. You've got something to offer. You're a very loving individual, very caring. I feel mostly drawn to the service industries at the moment, very people orientated, but you do also like your hermit time, your alone time. Very important that you have that time to yourself so you can actually re-energize, process what you've been through that day or that week, and when you're ready, come back out into the world. It feels here, yes, love is in the air. Love is around you. And by letting your guard down and letting somebody else in, allowing them time to explain themselves, giving them that listening ear, feels like it can bring you closer together. And the energy of feeling unbalanced, like you're holding the peace, holding things in, that energy will pass. It will pass. One more card, Spirit, please. One more card for Virgo, for the sign of Virgo in February and March. Okay, we've got the Seven of Swords. Now, this could be a very busy time for some of you Virgos. Some of you may be considering a change of residence, and it feels like it might be done under a constrained budget or time limitation. So the energies that you're moving under now, it's not easy to get things done. It's like you're having to force yourself to come through with the goods. But whatever you're leaving, whoever you're leaving, you're moving to a much brighter place. It'll be easier. Some of you may be moving actually literally to a location which may be more flat or towards the bottom of a hill. It feels like in the future it's going to be easier for you to come home, or perhaps it's just easy anyway for you to come home. I feel there is some sort of view involved where you're living or where you're going to be moving to. I also say to you though, be careful about lying to yourselves about what you think somebody else is feeling, because you're likely to be wrong about their feelings. I don't think their feelings have been properly expressed. And the Seven of Swords can feel at times like you're being deceived, possibly by another party. That's not the sense I'm picking up here. I'm not picking up deception here. So I really think that right now, Virgo, this is your energy, and that you need to be the one to be careful to not make your partner nervous by actions which they don't understand. Maybe sometimes it's actually good to explain your actions, and that cools everything down. And that's how it feels. in the emotional sense. On the work level, it feels to me, yes, you need to be a little bit guarded around a particular person at the moment. The feeling is they are brownish haired. They would be slimish in the figure. And I definitely feel I've got almost like a monotone voice in the person that I'm saying, watch out. Don't give your whole game away. If this is a work situation, keep some things to yourself. That would be the wisest route just at this moment in time. So I hope that helps a bit, Virgo. And until next time, thank you for listening and watching. And I hope you've enjoyed the reading and found it useful. And bye for now.